Hi guys, happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, December 22nd, which means we have 3 more sleeps until Christmas. So exciting. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, crazy. Oh my goodness, so crazy. I am getting ready. Today was my last day of schools for my little ones. So I have a little time to hopefully do some more crafting and baking with my own kiddos. Maybe a little more shopping. Definitely some napping. I love to nap. Shh, don't tell anybody. My friends over there, they are ready to go, all piled up, ready to have some fun and listen to our story tonight. It is called Santa is Coming to My House, and it is written by Steve Smallman. So if you're ready, get your blanket, get your best sleeping friend, and come on over for our story. Let's see what happens with Santa Claus. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that the children had sent. Mostly? Asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we better get their presents loaded up. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it onto Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack onto one little sleigh, even though they didn't know, somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but... Just then, a young reindeer strolled up, munching on a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little old elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped in the coordinates for the first town he was visiting. This will guide us there in no time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went, racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have all these presents delivered. Such pretty pictures in this book. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the wintry air, crossing the coast. In the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above mountains and plains, cities and towns. The youngest reindeer were very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. It's his first trip to the North Pole, away from the North Pole. They were nearing their destination when suddenly they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa nav in a bossy lady's voice. Keep left at the next star. But, ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all this snow. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Look at all that snow. Then, through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong! He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Who could that reindeer be with the red nose? I wonder. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The younger reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with a little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. Oh boy, that youngest reindeer just made a decision. "Whoa!" cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. "What's going on?" Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. "Well done, young reindeer," he shouted cheerfully. "It must be church bells. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming." Then, suddenly, crunch! Their sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the snow clouds. "You have arrived," said the Santa Nab helplessly. Or unhelpfully. It wasn't very helpful, that Santa Nab. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were, stuck right at the very top of the town Christmas tree. "Everybody pull!" The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the Christmas tree, and Santa steered them safely over the town hall, past the library, and down into the park. That's a big Christmas tree. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted out the presents in order again. "All right," said Santa. "Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming!" Look at the old reindeer giving the young reindeer a little bit of a look. Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over town, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could go, which was pretty fast for a chubby fella. There were big chimneys and small chimneys, tall chimneys and short chimneys. He squeezed down thin chimneys and plummeted down fat chimneys. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get at all tired. And it looked like all the children were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry too. Uh-oh, he looks a little tired. Let's see what happens. In house after house, Santa delved inside his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children had left out a large plate of cookies and small glass of milk and a big crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite of each cookie, a tiny sip of milk, wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. We know who the carrots go to, don't we? From north to south, from east to west, along the main streets, through the side streets, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in town. Santa delivered presents to Andrew, Allison, Anna, Arabella, Archie, Ashley. The list went on and on. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Zibble. I just realized I forgot to show you what it looked like when Santa was going into the houses. And now we're going to show you Santa again flying through the town. Looks like it was a clear night after all. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long list. "Great moons and stars," sighed Santa. "It's past midnight and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone." Santa soon opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. "Well done," he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa Nav once more to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding over the homes of the sleeping children through the crisp, starry night. Look at all those carrots for the reindeer. "Ho, ho, ho," laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, everyone. Guys, I hope you had a very, very nice time listening to our story, and I can't wait until tomorrow when then we only have 2 more sleep, but tonight we have 3 sleeps. You have a good night, get great sleep, and I will talk to you tomorrow night. Bye, guys.